Hi there, welcome back. I watched a great video from Sam Schumann just recently. It was really moved me. It was great. But anyways, we're coming back with chapter 21. And the Lord visited Sarah as he said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived, and Abraham's a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as God had commanded him. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. And Sarah said, God hath made me to laugh, so that all that hear will laugh with me. And she said, Who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should have given children suck? Question mark. For I have borne him a son in his old age. And the child grew and was weaned. And Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she had borne unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, Cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be the heir with my son, even with Isaac. Sounds like she's a woman scorned. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And God said unto Abraham, Let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman. Or in all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. And also of the son of a bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed. That was fair. And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and took bread and a bottle of water, and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on his shoulder. And the child sent her away, and she departed, and wandered in the wilderness of Beer-sheba. And the water she spent in the bottle, and she cast the child under one of the shrubs. Ooh, that's a bit mean. And she went and sat her down against him, a good way off, as it were a bow shot. For she said, Let me not see the death of a child. And she sat over against him, and lift up a voice, and wept. And God heard the voice of the lad. And the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and said unto her, What aileth thee? Hagar, fear not, for God hath heard the voice of the lad. Where is he? Where he is? Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him in thine hand, for I will make him a great nation. And God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. And she went, filled the bottle with water, and gave the lad a drink. And God, with the lad, he grew and dwelt in the wilderness, and became an archer. And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt. And it came to pass at that time that Abimelech and Philhol, the chief captain of hosts, spake unto Abram, saying, God is with thee in all that thou doest. Now therefore swear unto me here by God that thou wilt not deal falsely with me, nor with my son, nor with my son's son, but according to the kindness that I have done unto thee, thou shalt do unto me, and to the land wherein thou hast sojourned. And Abram said, I will swear. And Abram reproved Abimelech because of a well of water, which Abimelech's servant had violently taken away. And Abimelech said, I wot not who hath done this thing, neither didst thou tell me, neither yet heard I of it but today. And Abram took sheep and oxen, and gave them unto Abimelech, and both of them made a covenant. And Abraham set 7 ewe lambs of flock by themselves. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, What mean these 7 ewe lambs, which thou hast set them by themselves? And he said, For these 7 ewe lambs shalt thou take out of my hand, that they may be a witness unto me, that I have digged this well. Wherefore he called that place Beersheba, because they were swear both of them. Thus they made a covenant at Beersheba. Then Abimelech rose up, and Phicol the chief captain of his host, and they returned to the land of Philistines. And Abraham planted a grove in Beersheba, and called thereon the name of the Lord, the everlasting God. And Abraham sojourned in Philistines' land many days. So we go to chapter 22. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham, and he said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I'll tell of thee. And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and saddled his ass, and took of 2 young men with him, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering. Excuse me. And rose up and went unto the place of which God had told him. Then on the 3rd day Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. And Abraham saw unto his young men, Abide ye here with the ass, and I, the lad, will go yonder and worship, and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering, and laid it upon Isaac his son, and he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together. And Isaac spoke unto Abraham and his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here am I, my son. And he said, Behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? Am I my son? Am I my brother? So that's like sort of repeating from Cain and Abel. But anyways, let's carry on. And Abraham, my son, will provide a lamb for the burnt offering. So they went both of them together. And they came to the place where God had told him of, and Abraham built an altar there, and laid the wood in order, and brought Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. And he said, Lay not thine hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest God, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes, and looked, and behold, behind him a ram, caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went back, and took the ram, and offered him up for the burnt offering in the stead of his son. And Abraham called the name of the place Jehovah Jireh, as it is said to this day, In the mount of the Lord it shall be seen. And the angel of the Lord called unto Abraham out of the heaven the 2nd time, and said, By myself have I sworn, saith the Lord, because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, that in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the sea shore. And thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. And in thy seed shall all nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned unto his young men, and they rose up and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham dwelt at Beersheba. And it came to pass after these things, that it was told Abraham, saying, Behold, Milcah, she hath also borne children unto thy brother Nahor, Huz his firstborn, and Bus his brother, and Chemiel the father of Aram, and Shazad, and Hazo, and Fildash, and Jeldith, and Bethuel, and Bethuel begat Rebekah. These 8 Milcah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother, and his concubine, whose name was Reumah. She bare also Tebah, and Gaham, and Tahash, and Maachah. Right, and that is chapters 21 and 22. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Okay, bye.